Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we pull back the curtain on big business, and today we're looking at an update filing from Jaguar Health Incorporated. It seems like they had some minor corrections to make, but what do these changes really mean for the company going forward? Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're also building a fantastic community over on Discord. You can find the link in the description below, so come join the conversation. Alright, so we're looking at an amended report, a Form 8A/A from Jaguar Health Incorporated. Think of this as a follow-up report to an earlier one where they're saying, oops, we made a couple of small mistakes, let's fix them. The main reason for this filing is to correct what they call scrivener's errors. That is just a fancy way of saying typing mistakes or small oversights. Specifically, they're correcting the dates related to some securities purchase agreements and the closing of those deals. They're all now officially dated the 6th of January 2026. They're also correcting the earliest report date on the cover page. Pretty technical stuff, but as we know in the world of finance, dates can be super important. Now let's get into the meat of what happened on the 6th of January 2026. Jaguar Health entered into some securities purchase agreements with two accredited investors. These are essentially agreements where the company sold something to these investors. What they sold were unsecured promissory notes totaling $350,000. Think of these as loans that the company took out. They're promising to pay back this money in the future. The company says they'll use this money for working capital and general corporate purposes. That is pretty standard language for money that will go towards keeping the lights on and maybe some new projects. The transaction itself closed on the same day, the 6th of January 2026. These notes carry a 6% interest rate per year and they're due in just 1 month, so this is short-term borrowing. The good news for Jaguar Health is that they can pay back these notes early without any extra fees or penalties. This gives them flexibility. As an extra incentive for these investors to buy the notes, Jaguar Health also gave them warrants. These warrants give the investors the right to buy a certain amount of the company's common stock at a set price. In this case, they received warrants to purchase up to 350,000 shares of common stock with an exercise price of $1 per share. These warrants are exercisable right away and will expire in 5 years, or earlier if certain big company events happen like a merger or if the company is liquidated. So this section is just reinforcing that the company has taken on a direct financial obligation, which is the promissory notes we just talked about. This part confirms that these securities, the notes and warrants, were sold without being registered with the CC. This is usually done under specific rules that allow for sales to certain types of investors, like the accredited investors we mentioned. They sold these relying on exemptions under the Securities Act of 1933. And here we have the list of exhibits. These are the actual documents that spell out the details of the promissory notes, the warrants, and the purchase agreements themselves. They are incorporated by reference, meaning they're considered part of this filing. Overall, this is an amendment correcting some minor date errors in a filing that details a short-term borrowing of $350,000. The company also issued warrants as an incentive for this borrowing now. Let's talk big picture. What does this tell us about Jaguar Health? On one hand, they're actively managing their cash flow, securing funds through short-term notes and what seems like a fairly standard issuance of warrants to make those notes attractive. The fact that they can prepay these notes without penalty is a positive sign, indicating they might have other funding sources or expect to generate cash flow soon to cover this debt. However, relying on short-term notes and issuing warrants for funding can sometimes signal that a company might be facing immediate cash needs or is trying to bridge a gap until more significant funding comes through. The exercise price of $1 for the warrants also means that for these warrants to become truly valuable, the company's stock price needs to significantly increase. This suggests the investors are betting on future growth. What is interesting here is the correction of dates. While seemingly minor in corporate finance, precise timing can be crucial for legal and financial reporting purposes. It shows a commitment to accuracy, even if it is for small details. We need to watch if this short-term financing is a one-off or part of a larger pattern of Jaguar Health utilizing this kind of financing. The key for Jaguar Health will be how effectively they use these funds for working capital and corporate purposes. Will this capital injection lead to meaningful growth, new product developments, or expanded market reach? That is the real story we'll be watching for in their future filings. The success of these warrants also ties directly to the company's stock performance. If the stock doesn't rise above that $1 exercise price, the warrants may ultimately expire worthless. So, what is my take? Jaguar Health is making moves to ensure it has the necessary capital for operations. The transactions themselves are relatively small in the grand scheme of a public company, but they highlight the ongoing need for funding that many growth-oriented companies have to manage. The corrected dates, while a minor detail, underscore the importance of precision in financial reporting. What is your take on this filing? Do these moves signal confidence or a need for quick cash for Jaguar Health Incorporated? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might be interested. And don't forget to subscribe for more corporate breakdowns. Check out the Discord link in the description too. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Corporate Decoder.